So EMDR is a structured, evidence-based therapy that's used specifically for the treatment of trauma, though it has other applications for phobias, for instance, and for other anxiety disorders that have their roots in distressing experiences. So the first step of working with me would be having a complimentary video consultation. And this is to make sure that we're a good fit for each other. So much of therapy has to do with how comfortable you feel with your therapist. And I also want to know if my skills are aligned with what you're needing. Once we meet for that initial consultation, we would then schedule an intake session. And that would be a more structured session where I would be asking a lot of questions, getting a lot of background information, getting a deeper understanding of what your ideal outcome of our work together would be. And I would be giving you an orientation to how the EMDR sessions would actually work and guiding you in what equipment you might need to order in order to do EMDR with me. EMDR works by going in and helping reprocess memories that were stored and encoded incorrectly in your brain. As I'm doing an initial assessment, I would be working with you to create a timeline to help identify target memories for reprocessing. Again, we wouldn't have to go into detail. You don't have to share specifics in order to process an EMDR. In order to guide you effectively, I would need to have a general outline of when the memories occurred and what sort of memories they were, so that we can be strategic in how we target those memories once we enter the processing phase of treatment. So before we start any sort of reprocessing using bilateral stimulation, we would need to have certain safety protocols in place. Part of my job is to make sure that you are safe. That's the most important part of my job, actually, is making sure you are safe as you reprocess. So that means that you need to have the tools to take care of yourself if you have a big emotional reaction to memories, that you have the ability to regulate yourself and to compartmentalize so that you can continue on with your day, on with all of your obligations after our sessions. So we would spend at least a few sessions working on those safety measures and having you practice them between sessions. So this might include different visualization exercises, different mindfulness practices, different grounding exercises, that would all make sure that when we actually move into processing, I'm confident and you're confident that you can do this safely, even though we're not physically in the same space. Once we've reached that point, we would get into actual processing. So a processing session actually uses the bilateral stimulation that I mentioned previously. So one of the theories behind why EMDR works is that you're triggering a similar process as occurs during REM sleep. The name EMDR actually mentions one form of bilateral stimulation, that's the eye movements, but you can actually use any form of bilateral stimulation. So you can use sound. So if you have earbuds, you can have sound in one ear and then the other, or you can use tappers that you actually hold in your hand. And this is my preferred form of bilateral stimulation. It allows most people to relax more and fully engage with the process without having to think about moving their eyes in a certain direction or fiddling with earbuds or with volume. I use an online program that actually allows me to control the bilateral stimulation. So I would send you a link and you would open it on your computer. And if you have the tappers, which is what I recommend, you could actually plug those into the headphone port on your laptop or computer. And I would be able to remotely control that bilateral stimulation for you. When we would start the processing, I would specifically ask you to bring up whatever the target memory was. And there would be some other cues, and then we would enter into the processing with the bilateral stimulation. I would absolutely love to meet with you for a complimentary video consultation. Here at Ember Light, we exist to reignite your joy in life, to help you heal from the wounds of the past so that you can live a life that's rich in meaning and joy here and now.